Alright, we're going to start off with the Remington from 20 yards. See how it does. Next shot will be Longbeard XR at 20 yards. Next shot will be the Hornady Turkey Magnum. Next shot will be the Federal 3rd Degree TSS. This last shot will be Heavy Shot Triple Beard. That concludes the 20-yard test. Alright guys, this is the 40-yard test. See how we do. First up will be the Remington. Next up is the Longbeard XR. Next up, Hornady Turkey Magnum. Next up, Federal 3rd Degree. Last up will be the Heavy Shot Triple Beard from 40 yards. That concludes the first part of our test. That's shooting the 5 shells, which I'll give you the specs on each here in a moment, from 20 yards and from 40 yards. Now we'll go in and we'll count and we'll figure out which one that performed the best. Thank you. Alright guys, this is the shells that we used today in the test. First, you've got Federal Premium 3rd Degree TSS. This load is actually a 3-inch, 1250 feet per second, and it's 1 3/4 ounce shot with a 5, 6, 7 shot. We also used Longbeard XR, 3-inch, 1200 velocity, 1 3/4 ounce load with a 6 shot. The Hornady Turkey Magnums. With them, you've got 3-inch shell with 1 1/2 ounce load with 6 ounce or number 6 shot. You got the Remington High Velocity Magnum turkey loads. They are 3-inch length, 1300 on the velocity, 1 3/4 ounce shot and or load and 5 shot. And then lastly, we had the Heavy Shot Triple Beard. They was 3-inch in length, 5, 6, and 7 shot, 1 3/4 ounce shot charge, and 1300 feet per second. So how I do this is I just we're gonna start off on the 20-yard shots, and in that, basically, you know, I didn't use a lead sled or anything. This 20 yards, had it kind of sitting on a bench, but you know, I mean, could have been off left or right a little bit, but I used these mossy oak targets that you can print out for free. Pretty nice. And basically what I done is counted the shots in the vital areas. Now on this particular one, if you'll look, I kind of mis-aimed a little bit, so it wasn't all in the vital area, but on the 20-yard shots, every one of them had enough kill shots that it really didn't matter anyway. The 40-yard test is really where I wanted to focus the most energy, but you could still kind of see the density of the area that it's hitting. This is actually the Hornady Turkey Magnum from 20 yards. It had 12 hits in the vital area. All right. This is actually the Longbeard XR. As you can tell, I really aimed off on that one a little bit, but either way, like I said, on these 20-yard shots, guys, it really doesn't matter. I mean, we can see the density. It absolutely ripped a hole right here, so had I been on, yeah, it may have ripped the turkey's head off, but either way, it still had 11 shots in the vital areas. Next up would be the Hevi shot triple beard. Again, the shot was focused a little bit off, but even with that, it had 16 shots in the vital area. So like I said, from 20 yards, this ammo is deadly. This is actually the 3rd degree, the TSS. I had it centered pretty well, and it also had 16. So with that being said, the triple beard, you know, was not centered that well, and it got 16, and the 3rd degree was centered and it got 16. So at the end of the day, all these are killing birds, guys. And then actually the Remington was the most surprising of all of them. Had a pretty dead on shot, but if you look, I mean, it had 22 shots in the vital area. So I was really impressed with that shell, probably more than any of them from 20 yards, believe it or not. Longbeard, it was concentrated. Like I said, I was off a little bit this way, but it didn't leave a hole like that. So either way, I mean, to me, from 20 yards, as far as density on this particular test, and by the way, this was using a Benelli Vinci with the Indian Creek choke. All these shots was 20 and 40 yards, so if that helps you any, that's what I was using. So to me, actually, the Remington Turkey Magnums perform better than any of them as far as density from 20 yards. Now, that will probably all greatly change when we step out to these 40-yard tests. So that was all 5 shells there. So like I said, basically you had the Remington was first, the 3rd degree TSS was second, tied with the triple beard, and then the Hornady was 4th, and then the Longbeard XR actually got 5th. But like I said, guys, I was way off. I mean, there's actually a hole in the paper right here, so that's my fault. Either way, from 20 yards, you can still see the density that it's putting out, and from any of these would have killed a bird. Where we can tell the major difference is where we step out to 40 yards. At 40 yards, I actually didn't use a lead sled, but I did get out my bog tripod along with some sandbags to try to get everything lined out better. So from 40 yards, this is the Hornady, and if you look at it, I mean, there's very few, actually only 2 in the vital area. So at 40 yards, that's definitely not the shell that I would want to use. Next up was Remington, which performed better than any of them from the 20 yards. One shot in the vital areas, guys. And I mean, if you look, there probably isn't 15 on the entire page. So very disappointed in that shell from 40 yards. Next up, you got the 3rd degree TSS from 40 yards. It was a little bit tighter of a pattern, but that being said, from 40 yards, still only had 5 shots in the vital areas. So that kills a bird, but you know, there were better options. The Heavy Shot Triple Beard, this actual one, I killed one a few years back. I actually killed a couple birds a few years back from about 40-50 yards when I first started turkey hunting. Wasn't the greatest caller in the world, had to shoot them farther away. It had 6 in the vital areas, so it's pretty concentrated in this area right here, so it performed probably second best of all the shells. And guys, this is the deal right here. You look at this is Longbeard XR. It wasn't that big of a difference. It was only 8 in the vital areas, but when you look at the concentration, there was no shell that even compared to the amount of holes in the paper from 40 yards. So when it comes to buying shells, Longbeard XR, trying to think, I actually seen where you could get, I think, 10 of them for, a while back, you could get 10 of these things for 15 or 16 bucks at one of the stores. It's hard to beat. You know, these TSS, you look at them, you're getting 5 shells, and I think I gave $20 for 5 shells, and these TSS rounds go way higher than that. I mean, they're not scared at all to ask you for $50 for 5 shells. But that being said, they're more of a custom ammo, like your Apex. Guys, if I could afford something like that, I'd be more than happy to throw them in this test. I just personally, I can't give $50 for shells and shoot 2 of them on a test to do this. But I'm here to tell you, I find it really hard to beat this Longbeard XR. Now maybe it's my gun, maybe it's my choke. The Benelli, like I said, Benelli Vinci with Indian Creek choke. I know that's got something to do with it, the chokes that you're using and the particular round. But the Longbeard XR, another thing, guys, you know, it's 1200 velocity. It's not kicking near as hard. This Remington, this TSS, and this Heavy Shot Triple Beard will rip your shoulder off. But this one, to me, had more kick than any shell that I shot. Longbeard XR, to me, guys, I don't think you can beat them for, like I said, anywhere $15 to $19 for 10 shells. I can buy that all day long and kill birds. Also, you know, these videos have done really well as far as the shot test, so it's something that I want to continue doing for you guys. If you got any ideas on what I could do different, please let me know in the comments. Please subscribe. Appreciate it. That's all I have today. Thank you so much.